So, if you're using an AI coding assistant like Claude Code, you already know how powerful it is. But have you ever just had that feeling that it's, I don't know, operating with one hand tied behind its back? Like, it could be so much smarter if it could just really understand your code base on a deeper level? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today.
It's that classic problem, right? You ask your AI to find something in your project, and you just get this flood of totally irrelevant results. You know the code you need is in there somewhere, but for whatever reason, your AI just can't seem to connect the dots. It's got all this power, but it feels like it's just consistently missing the point.
And that right there, that's the heart of the issue. On one hand, you've got tools like Claude Code, which are fantastic at finding the exact text you type. But on the other hand, you've got these tools like Cursor IDE that feel like they're performing some kind of magic. They seem to understand the meaning behind your code. That huge gap between finding text and finding meaning, that's what we're going to bridge. Okay, let's get into it. What exactly is this hidden handicap holding Claude back? Why does it feel like it's only firing on half its cylinder sometimes?
You know, this quote from the source material just nails it. It operates at maybe 50% of its potential. I think so many developers feel this in their bones. You can sense the raw intelligence of the AI, but it's getting bottlenecked by something as simple as how it searches your files. It's that deep frustration of knowing it could be doing so much more.
And this is what that frustration actually looks like. It looks like the number 847. You ask a pretty simple conceptual question like, hey, show me how authentication works. And what you get back is 847 raw text matches from a basic grep search. And now the burden is all on you, the developer, to waste your valuable time digging through all that noise just to find the signal. So what's the fix? Well, the difference between that nightmare scenario and a totally seamless one comes down to one core idea: semantic search. It's all about finding meaning, not just matching text.
Think about traditional search. You know, your classic grep or find command. It's basically a word matching game. It sees the word auth, and it finds every single time you've typed auth. It has zero idea that a file named login_handler.py or a function called verify credentials are actually part of the exact same concept. It's blind to context.
But semantic search, that's a whole different ballgame. It doesn't just look at the words, it understands the intent. It knows that concepts like authentication, user login, and session handling are all part of the same family, even if they don't share any of the same text. This is the magic that's been powering tools like Cursor.
So the big question is, how do we give this exact superpower to Claude Code? Well, that's where a really cool, lightweight, and, this is important, completely local tool comes into the picture. And here it is. It's called semantic-search-mcp. It's a simple plugin built on what's called the Multi-Tool Capability Protocol, or MCP, which is really just a standard way for tools to talk to an AI. And this little plugin does one thing, and it does it incredibly well. It gives Claude Code that cursor-level semantic understanding that it's been missing. And the best part, the way it's designed, really speaks to what developers actually care about. First off, it is completely local. Your code, your valuable IP, never, ever leaves your computer. You don't need any API keys. There's no server you have to set up or maintain. It's just private, secure, and dead simple by design. Okay, this sounds great. But how does this little local tool actually pull off all this magic? Let's take a quick peek under the hood and see how it works. All right, the first piece of the magic is something called vector embeddings. The tool doesn't just read your code as plain text. Instead, it converts it into this complex mathematical representation, a vector, that actually captures its meaning. This is how it knows that seemingly different functions like authenticate, login, and verify credentials are all conceptually neighbors, effectively creating a smart map of your codebase's logic. Then you've got the second key ingredient, smart chunking. Instead of just chopping up your files randomly, the tool is smart enough to keep logical blocks, like entire functions or classes, all together. And why is that so important? Because it preserves the context, which is absolutely crucial for the AI to understand not just what a piece of code is, but what it does in the bigger picture. And look, this isn't some mysterious black box. It's built on a foundation of really solid, trusted modern tech. We're talking about the lightning-fast UV package manager, ChromaDB for handling the local vector storage, and the official MCP SDK. These are all rock-solid choices that signal quality and reliability. Okay, so it's powerful, it's well-built, but is it a pain to set up? Absolutely not. In fact, that's the best part. You can be up and running in about 5 minutes. Seriously, it boils down to just 3 steps. First, you clone the repo and install everything with one command. Second, you run a little script to tell it where your project directory is. And third, it spits out a configuration command that you just copy and paste to connect the tool to your Claude agent. And that's literally it. There are no new commands to learn, no weird workflows to adopt. Your AI agent is now supercharged. It will automatically use this new semantic search when you ask conceptual questions, and it will fall back to the old way for exact matches. It just works. All right, let's pull this all together and look at the real transformation here, because this isn't just some small tweak. This is about finally unlocking the full potential that's been hiding inside your AI coding assistant all along. This is the before and after that really sells it. Before, asking about off-code meant getting buried under almost 900 irrelevant matches and wasting 20 minutes of your life hunting for what you need. After, the same exact question instantly gives you the 5 files that actually matter. That's the difference between total frustration and pure, uninterrupted flow. So who is this really for? Well, let's see if any of these sound like you. It's for you if you love Claude's workflow but just wish its search was smarter. It's for you if you're trying to navigate a huge, complex code base where grep just doesn't cut it anymore. And it is definitely for you if you need a completely local, private solution for your most sensitive code. That final quote just says it all, doesn't it? Claude Code just unlocked its full potential. Ultimately, the difference between a good AI coder and a truly great one isn't always the big brain model itself. Sometimes it's the tools that connect that brain to your code. By bridging this one simple search gap, it's not just a minor upgrade, it's a total game changer. It really makes you wonder, what other simple gaps in our tools are holding back the next leap forward in coding?